Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to unveil many different revelations that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to introduce many different surprises that will change our entire view of the past 8 Star Wars films that come before this one, which, like I've always expressed before in the past, could very well be a good or a bad thing by Disney and Lucasfilm, and of course J.J. Abrams and George Lucas, and exactly how they're going to structure this movie. Now, with that being said, we do know that this film is going to introduce different mediums of the Star Wars franchise that we have never seen before in the Skywalker saga. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence in which both Rey and Kylo Ren are within the netherworld of the Force that is initiated by Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost. It's explained that Rey and Kylo Ren begin to see the Force ghosts of Kenobi and Yoda as well in the shot, where it's explained that one of the sequences involves a moment in which Yoda's Force Ghost reveals to Rey and Kylo Ren new truths about the Wills. It's revealed by Yoda's Force Ghost voice that the Wills are the ones that created the midichlorians, as well as other microorganisms in the beyond that are said to be the core of the Force. It said that the Wills created microorganisms that are far superior than the midichlorians in the beyond, that are said to explain the power that is stronger than both the light and the dark side of the Force in the beyond. Yoda is said to explain this to Rey and Kylo Ren as a way to give them guidance of the Force. It's said to be a powerful moment where John Williams is said to compose a special score for the scene that will be used to provide a certain tone that J.J. Abrams is aiming for. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is really going to feature tons of new revelations just like this one, involving the netherworld of the Force and the beyond, and of course new revelations related to the Force itself. Now, this is said to involve the Wills, which are, by the way, godlike beings within the Star Wars universe that are said to really pretty much rule everything related to the universe and the galaxy and how they created the galaxy. And there's a lot more to tell behind the Wills than what's already going to be presented in, of course, The Rise of Skywalker. So on top of all of this, we have a moment in which Yoda's Force Ghost is explaining this to both Rey and Kylo Ren, as both Luke and Kenobi's Force Ghost are said to be in the background. And Yoda is actually explaining about, of course, the origins of the power that's stronger than both the dark and the light. Now, we're not quite sure exactly what this power is going to be called in Episode 9, but we do know that the Sith spirit of Sidious is said to wield this power from the beyond, and that's exactly how he goes up against Rey and Kylo Ren, and why they need to force themselves into an alliance to take down this greater evil. Now, like I've always said before in the past, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm, they're trying to do amazing things for the character of Palpatine in this movie, something far different than what we have ever seen before in a Star Wars film that featured Palpatine, one of which has all to do with him being a Sith spirit, but there's more to it than just that. It has to do with the connection he has to the beyond itself, which really is going to set this movie apart from the past 8 Star Wars films. So on top of all of this, what's really impressive to me is that I will say that when we think about Force Ghosts, we always wonder, where do they really go, right? And now that's going to be a visual narrative. We're going to be able to see the netherworld of the Force and to see exactly what it looks like on the big screen. And this is said to be a magical moment as well, where John Williams is said to compose a very beautiful track, a nice piece, in order to inspire not just the characters but the fans as well, as Yoda is giving this lesson to both Rey and Kylo Ren within the netherworld of the Force. And I think that a lot of fans are really going to enjoy of what's coming their way when it comes to Jedi, Sith, and Force lore, because, well, at the end of the day, this film really does have a lot of potential, since it's going to add in a lot of elements from the EU. Now, we can thank George Lucas and Chris Terrio mainly for really researching a lot of Legends content and really implementing that into the rewrites of Episode 9 that took place during the months of November and December of 2018, just late last year. So Episode 9 has a lot of things going for it, such as this example where we are going to learn about these new microorganisms that are said to be far superior than the midichlorians that were presented and pretty much demonstrated in The Phantom Menace back in 1999, and a lot of people didn't really agree with it. And now that they're going to get a reference in Episode 9 and how there's going to be a different microorganism that is far superior than the midichlorians, really does, make you wonder how scientific J.J. Abrams really is willing to get in Episode 9, and whether or not it's going to be too complex for the casual and/or new viewer that is becoming a Star Wars fan. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.